Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon. I hope you guys are doing well. Merry Christmas. Happy Boxing Day. I hope you guys had a fun Christmas yesterday. I hope you guys were able to spend time with your family and just enjoy being with your family. Guys, please hit that like button as you guys come in. Good evening, everyone. Tommy, good evening. Everyone say hello to Tommy. Tommy is my beautiful mod. So please say hello to her. Thank you guys so much for joining in. We have quite a bit to talk about today. Um, we're going to talk about married to medicine. So I have quite a bit to talk about when it comes to married to medicine. I want to play a clip for you guys where it's obvious that King ain't interested. King is not out here trying to do no IVF with Quad, in my opinion. So we're going to get into that. I'll also play some other married to medicine clips. So there is a clip of Eugene and Toya discussing the drama at the party. So I'm going to play that for you guys as well. I do have some love and marriage Huntsville news about Tisha and Marsau, so we will get into that as well. Some Mendecees and Tamar drama as well. We will get into that. I just ask that you please hit that like button as you come in. That is the one thing I'm asking for. Also, well, actually, two things. Please share this video as well so other people can know that we are live. Okay, so let's start with Eugene and Toya. And I want to start with Eugene and Toya because that is how we left off from the last episode. And the last episode was very tense. So I want us to sort of get into it. So I will be playing the clips as usual, just to let everyone know, because I don't want nobody in the comments trying to drag me about the clips. I have to pause it regularly because of copyright issues. I'm not trying to get into any drama with YouTube, so bear with me. All right, hit that like button, everybody. I'm not going to be begging for likes today, so please hit that like button and let's get into it.
Honey, you want to come down to the basement? We could play pool, and I was making margaritas to make up from yesterday.
Well, actually, can you just write me a doctor's note?
Ooh, that's a good one. That is a good one. So Toya is bringing it back to, if you guys, and I know they're playing the playback now, but Toya is basically like, yeah, let me use your own words against you. You wanted to write a doctor's note for the rest of the people? Yeah. How do you like my doctor's note now?
We about to play a game.
I had to write the doctor's excuses. Doctor's note.
I need the wifely and husband attention.
I'm gonna keep writing these.
Oh, really? You want?
Eesh. Honestly, every time I watch the scene between Toya and Eugene, this is the worst that I've ever seen it in my entire life. I feel like every time we've seen Toya and Eugene in the past, it's never ever gotten to this extent. I feel like this is way too much. It's never that intense ever between them. And so I definitely think that it was taking way too far by Toya. Tommy says, I think Eugene understands his wife. Absolutely, I agree with that. I think he does. Although I think that he needs to also stand up for himself a little bit more. And I like Toya, but I don't like the way she speaks to Eugene. I think that Toya is usually right. Her delivery is just very wrong most of the time. And the problem with when people have bad delivery is people focus on the delivery and nobody is focused on the message. We know 9 out of 10 when Toya is calling out people or saying things that, we don't want or we're not expecting her to say out of her mouth, we know, right, that 9 out of 10, she is actually correct. She's saying the things that we want to say. She's holding the people accountable. She's calling out the things that we would expect her to call out, right? Absolutely. However, to talk to your man like that in front of the people is absolutely, absolutely horrible and should not be the case at all. And so I get that he understands his wife and he should, but at the same time, it's not okay to speak to your husband like that in front of people, especially because also what then happens is the rest of the people now feel like it's okay to disrespect your husband. And we've seen them do that a lot of times. We've seen them do that. They've called Eugene and Eugenia, called him a bitch. They've called him all sorts of things just because of the disrespect. Just because of the disrespect. And so I think that there has to be a limit. And I hope that she will get some counseling, work on the way she speaks to him, because I don't think that he will continue to tolerate it. Especially now that we've seen him stand up now, I don't think he's going to continue to tolerate it. Also, let's be clear, if a woman was being spoken to the way Toya speaks to Eugene, everyone would go crazy about it. People will be calling out that behavior. How dare you, as a man, speak to a woman like that? But because a man is on the receiving end, yes, there is some outcry, but it's not on the same level.
Want to be hard?
No, just come down into the basement.
Okay.
I will say Toya looks nice. And to think that Toya is turning 50, she looks very, very good.
Hey, you play cards? You know you don't never play cards.
No, I just sat down here
Why you sitting down like that?
because I was making the margaritas, and I figured we'd play some pool and talk.
Okay.
Since we haven't played pool in a while. I don't like us having conflict. I like to resolve things quickly.
I actually handle things head on.
We know that, Toya. You handle things pretty intensely, hun. We all know that. I think everybody can see the way you handle things. But the way you handle things ain't good, hun. It is not. It is way too far. You take things way, way, way too far. I think there has to be a sweet spot somewhere that is not way, like, you know, when there's like a little bit of a sweet spot where you're not taking things all the way to hell. Yeah, I think that would be nice for a change. Tommy says, I hope she works on it, please. They are such a beautiful family. I'll hate to see them break apart. Absolutely. I agree with that. I think they're a beautiful family. And I'm with you on that. Like, it would be so sad if they end up like breaking up because of this, especially when it's something that can easily be fixed. If someone just watches how she treats the other person. I think like it's not something where it's the end of the world, so to speak. But if you continue to behave like that, the man is going to feel emasculated, and he will find him a nice young tenderoni who will treat him better, who will kiss the floor that he walks on, especially because he's a provider and he comes across as kind. There are so many women that would jump through hoops for this man. So she better do better. I'm gonna just say that. Please hit the like button as you watch the live, guys. Yes, please.
And if I see that they're going...
Like a collision?
Yes. What's wrong with these?
I don't want to. You can drink out of that all day long. I will drink out of a nice
A
glass.
cocktail glass?
I start thinking like, okay.
The one thing I would say I didn't like is I saw a lot of comments where people were dragging Toya for talking about drinking from that glass. Leave her alone. She is an outspoken woman. I don't see anything she said that was wrong. She's an outspoken woman. He married her knowing fully well she's outspoken. And I don't think we should try to change that. We should let people be who they are at the end of the day. What we are saying is to make sure you're not emasculating the man, but you're allowed to be vocal. You're allowed to have your opinions about things. So I don't think like the expectation that Toya is all of a sudden going to be this person that would keep quiet and let you run all over her and stuff. She's never going to be that person. Never.
Okay, what did I do wrong?
No. He usually takes it, then it's something else ties me, he puts it right on top of that. Then he blows up.
I think you're projecting.
No.
He's said, I think you're projecting. I think it's a little bit of both. I think that Eugene may not necessarily address every single thing that happens. And I think in this case, yeah, it's yeah. In this case, I guess everything just boiled over
No.
on both ends. To be honest, on both ends, I think they all had a part to play in what happened that night. But I just wish Toya will about talk differently. Yeah, just talk differently about your partner, please, or talk differently to your partner.
Okay, let's get the heavy lifting out the way. One, I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I want to say I'm sorry. I misjudged what that party meant for you. But I do feel like you need to take a little ownership with what you said in front of people who we don't even feel all the way safe with. They've made a lot of emasculating jokes.
Exactly. They've made a lot of emasculating jokes. And to be in that position where your wife is the one giving the people ammunition is crazy to me. Your wife should not be part of the people giving the people ammunition at all. So I'm definitely with Eugene on that. Like, you can't be part of the people giving them ammunition. Absolutely not. Yeah, that was intense. Contessa is rara. I forgot about that.
There was this fake Balenciaga purse that was left at the party the other day. So I go in our group chat. I said, whose fake ass purse is this? She sends this text and she's like, my man loves me too, but his dick is so big. So you're loving on some little shit. Let's go.
Oh, and you see, you're the one that caused this. They would not be talking about his penis if you did not talk about his penis. You said it, and now the people are repeating what you say. And it's like, so now you're offended? Well, it's like, dude, you were the one that gave the people ammunition. And this is why I feel like I don't buy into the whole delusion where it comes across as Toya just feels like, oh, everyone just doesn't get where she's coming from, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, girl, you should not have been speaking about your husband's penis in the first place. You were the one that you started this ish. Tommy says Toya needs to watch herself. Men hate their ego being bruised. Absolutely. Especially in front of people. Most men will tolerate your mouth if it's behind closed doors. If nobody really knows that's how they speak to, or that's how you speak to them. But the moment the people start to know, and then the people are making jokes, a lot of men are not going to be able to tolerate that. And so I think she needs to really get it together and know that if you want to keep that man, things are going to have to change, in my opinion.
At that party, it was like, you looked at me like I was one of them. And I'm like, when did I become one of them? Just because I said be a leader and lead the men. I should be able to use words like be a...
Yeah, but why should you tell him to be a leader and lead the men? Like, I know she is a very literal person. So in her mind, she probably thinks she just means like, guy, just lead the men. You lead them, right? But that can come across as emasculating, considering the context of everything we know about you and you guys' dynamic and all of the different conflicts that have happened in the past. You can't be saying words like that and expect that that would be okay.
A leader, honey.
The way you said it was
Then if something else ties me, he puts it right on top of it. Hurtful.
Yeah. There's times when you say something real rough, and then later when you recount it, say, I only said it like this.
Exactly. And that's why I feel like she needs help, because her delivery is so wrong. You know, one of those people who feel like they are truth tellers. Just because you are a truth teller does not mean you need to be bloody with it. Does not mean that you need to be abrasive with it. There are ways in which you can have conversations, and it does not have to go straight into the gutter. And this is what I'm always telling people. There are ways to de-escalate situations. There are ways to have certain conversations. There is no need for you to be so abrasive in that kind of setting, and you're saying be a leader, and you don't think there was anything wrong in the way in which you spoke to your man, why couldn't you have been sweet and say, hey baby, could you please manage the guys with you and make sure they do this? Could you please, honey, could you please help me with this? You could have done all of those things. You chose to say, Eugene, can you be a leader? And absolutely out of order.
That's not how I talk.
Okay, hey, I'm just saying. Here's me.
Sister, that is how you talk. You definitely be doing the most, sis. I don't know what to tell you, but you definitely be doing the most.
This is what I own. Playing too much. I should have left you alone because I do know that you need some space. I shouldn't have cursed. I shouldn't have let all your friends get in my head because I don't like it when they talk.
You see, I love that he owned his part. He owned his part and was like, do you know what? I shouldn't have let that happen. I shouldn't have done this. This is where I own. I shouldn't have let them get into my head with the all, a lot of the people at the events, they kept adding their ad libs, their little 2 cents. That's going to make anyone angry. That's going to make him want to pipe up, which is what he did. And sadly, it just didn't go down well on both ends.
About it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for your apology.
Okay. What did you do?
This is my thing. I would have wished that now watch her explain what she did. I can't lie, this scene pissed me off because of how she handled this. But let me not jump the gun. Let me let you guys see it for yourself.
What did I do? Well,
sis, are you okay? Look at your husband's face. He's looking at you like, what? You can't even take accountability for what you did? That man is tired. Sister, he loves you, but don't take the piss. Don't take the piss.
I was being pushy. What I did second?
You were being pushy, yes. You were rude and disrespectful, yes. But guess what? Guess all she said? She said she was being pushy.
I shouldn't respond when people pull me into a negative scenario.
I shouldn't respond when people pull me into a negative scenario. That makes it seem like you are being reactive when in reality you were the aggressor in this conflict. You were the aggressor in this conflict. You were not being reactive, sister. And so I just don't like how it feels like still not taking accountability. It feels a little bit like she really is not taking accountability, in my opinion. At least that's how it comes across to me. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys feel like she's coming across as not taking accountability in this scenario?
I should not be arguing with you or anybody else.
We were off that.
Okay, so you shouldn't be arguing with you or anybody else. So where is the apology for the way you spoke to this man? Where is the apology for the way you treated this man? These are the questions I have. Where is the apology? You're saying, oh, well, you shouldn't have. But where is the apology for speaking to that man with the level of disrespect that you did? There was, in my opinion, there's still no accountability from Toya. There is still no accountability from her.
Day, right? But we need to get back on. How you get back on is just feed into the love account.
I definitely could get better.
It's
Hurtful.
Yeah.
Better.
And the thing is, it's interesting that she even had the audacity to say be a leader, because let's be honest, the way he's coming across, that's how a leader comes across. He's out here trying to squash the conversation. He's out here trying to squash it, go through it, resolve the issues. That's what a leader does. You squash the beef. Now he's also trying to figure out, like, okay, what is the next thing? What is moving forward for us? And that's why he's thinking, okay, moving forward for us looks like pouring into the love tank. That is what a leader does.
At feeding you more words of affirmation, because I do it for the boys. I take for granted sometimes that, you be working hard as hell and you be gone a lot. But
You can leave that part.
but my God, man, it's nice that I can depend on you.
Do you appreciate me wanting to play pool with you?
I do, and if you could
And this is the thing. So I love that he's like, okay, we need to work on the love tank. We need to work on the love tank. We're not where we used to be. We need to pour into the love tank. And that's exactly right. If you guys are going through stuff, you need to spend more time together, do the things that you guys used to do initially that you enjoyed doing together to boost that feeling of like euphoria and, happiness that you guys had. And so I definitely think he's a great husband. I need her to do better, speak to him in a nicer way, be respectful. Don't be out here trying to act like you hate your husband. Be nicer. That's it. Because a lot of people are out here hoping that you fumble your spot so they can jump in. To be honest, your husband is the best husband on the show. Your husband is the only one that seems to like his wife compared to everybody on that show. Eugene honestly seems like a good man. I hope she doesn't take him for granted. Maybe she's a bit angry about him going away a lot. Yes, I'm sure that is also part of it because you want physical affection. You want all of that from your husband. I get it. But the way to get him back home is not the way you are speaking to him. If you want him back home, you being like this and you being aggressive and you being all of that is not going to bring him back home. If anything, it'll make it easier for him to stay where he's at. And so I just need her to like wake up a little bit, smell the coffee a little bit, and understand like, yo, don't take this man for granted because you will regret it. There's nothing out in these streets for you, sis.
just play spades, and we'll really have, especially on vacation. You know how I want to play
I
cards.
went to Howard. At Howard, spades always turned into a fight.
Toya wants a fight, honey. She is like, let's put that energy into interesting activities. That's the vibe she gives me. So, Eugene, do what your wife wants. She wants to play spades. I know you are a little bit anti-spades. You don't want to be getting into fights and disagreements, but give her what she wants. Give her what she wants. Because at the end of the day, I hope that she's giving you what you want because you like pool, so you guys are playing pool. But she likes spades. So every now and then, you two play spades. That's how you also pour into her love tank.
That's what all black people do. Better.
Yep. Let's see what the people are saying. Someone says Eugene is such a good person and a great husband. Absolutely. She literally has no respect for her husband. And from this conversation, he doesn't require any from her. She clearly doesn't think she did anything wrong. This is what gagged me personally. I felt like she did not fully believe that she did anything wrong. I think that was the bit that really got me personally. Because I'm like, girl, how are you going to be acting like you didn't do nothing wrong? That's the bit I can't mess with. Because I'm like, you do not take accountability. And it felt like it had to be drugged out of you. The whole accountability had to be dragged out of you for you to be able to take accountability, which for me is a problem. That is a problem. It's like you need to be able to take accountability for your actions. Nobody needs to direct to try to be like, oh, this is up. Nobody should need to do all of that. You should know better as a person to know how to take accountability for your actions. Eugene had the same amount of time that you had to focus and think about it and relax and whatever was the same amount of time that Toya had to think about it. Eugene thought about it, came back, and was out here with like solutions and taking accountability, but Toya could not do the same. Tommy says, who do y'all think is at fault, Toya or Eugene? there is a poll for you guys to complete about that. Let's see what the people think. Okay, so far everyone says Toya. So I think there is a consensus on that Toya is at fault. Everybody feels like Toya is at fault, and I definitely agree. I think that Eugene does have a part to play, don't get me wrong, but I think the biggest part of the fault is in Toya's hands. I think Eugene's part is she is out here at the party. She's already stressed. Step in and help your wife. Don't be part of the disruptions. So yes, that's where I stand about Toya's part or Toya's point of view. Um so let's move on to another story. Let me see, what is this? Okay, let me pull this up. Give me a second. Should we talk about Quad and King's IVF journey now? I think let's do that. So let's talk about that next. Let me get the link. Let me get the link. Oh, actually, let me talk about what Heavenly had to say first, because I think that is still kind of related to this Toya business. So.
So blessed, and so are my sons. And you are. Please wish your fathers and husbands an amazing Father's Day. Make sure you tell him that, Toya, preferably on camera.
Okay. So Heavenly is getting involved. You know, there's a text message where it sounds like Toya is basically, or Heavenly is basically saying, like, you need to say, wish your husband a happy Father's Day on camera. I mean, first of all, you can't tell a grown person how to act. And at the same time, Heavenly, you're the one that does not want anyone to speak about your family and what you've got going on. So what makes you think that anything from the other point of view would be acceptable to begin with, right? So just putting that out there, I'm not surprised that Heavenly is getting involved, but at the same time, I also understand Toya's point of view, because it's like, yo, when you had things going on with your son, you did not want nobody talking about it at all. So why is it all of a sudden that this is now being a conversation, a topic of conversation? Very, very weird to me.
Yeah, in front of everybody, because you embarrass him in front of everybody. It makes us feel so fucking uncomfortable.
She's not wrong. You embarrassed him in front of everybody. You're making everybody feel uncomfortable. I think it was obvious that everyone was uncomfortable during that event.
Oh, she did so. Who sends a text on?
The funny thing though is everyone's mouth is open because everyone is kind of shocked that Heavenly said that. I get it, Heavenly should stay out of it, it's none of her business. But at the same time, at this point, I don't even mind anybody saying something. I don't mind anybody saying something right now to freaking Toya, because Toya was out of order, in my opinion. So speak your speech, honey.
Father's Day, like telling somebody what they should say to their husband.
It was a positive text.
It wasn't a.
I felt like it.
This is where Heavenly loses me. Heavenly, there's no way on earth you are going to say that was a positive text. It was not a positive text, and that is okay. There's nothing positive about a message like that. Standing your truth. But when you're out here acting oblivious and you're saying to us, oh no, it was a positive text, like, girl, do you think we're stupid? It was not a positive text, and that is okay. You are allowed to feel how you feel, in my opinion. Feel how you feel. That's but stand in it. It was not a positive text. It was not a positive text. That is okay. That's how you feel. That's how you feel. But playing in our faces, making it seem like it was a positive text when it wasn't, is crazy to me. And so I'm definitely with Toya on calling that out. There's no way that was positive.
Was. Y'all are beefing, so why say anything? Because you messy.
Exactly. Brandy is right. That was all it was about. It was about being messy and standing it. I don't like you or whatever. I stand in what I said, and that's it. Period. Tommy says, but what is Dr. Heavenly's business? Why is she carrying it on her head? I agree. But this is what Heavenly does. Heavenly will carry everybody's business on her head, which is why I liked it when someone else carried Heavenly's business on their heads, like Toya did, because Heavenly is not going to address her issues, is not going to talk about nothing, but she would rather be out here not talking about nothing, but everyone else's business. So yes, I'm definitely with you on, it's not her business, but at the same time, I get it. It's like we're on a show. I don't want to talk about my business, so let me talk about your business. Does that make it right? No, but that's just what that is.
This is what I got to say. If you send a message out saying, make sure you tell her husband that on camera. But prior to that, Heavenly, it was a conversation about you speaking about her husband on his penis size.
And Heavenly's like, yeah, and what is wrong with that? I love how Angel is getting in and getting involved already. Love that. But yeah.
She had a problem with that.
I get Angel riding in for Toya. I get it. And I love that Heavenly is being called out. But at the same time, they need to also call out Toya. Toya, you're the one that said it. If you didn't say it, the people would not have ammunition.
I think Heavenly knows exactly what she's doing. You will get into under any woman's skin if you keep dragging their husband and saying, I'm so their husband and saying what size his genitalias are.
Exactly. It is definitely, I don't think it's okay to be making jokes about someone's penis size. They cannot change what the penis size is. That can't be changed, can't be helped. There ain't nothing you can do as far as I know. And so it just is what it is, really. So I can definitely understand how Eugene must feel disappointed, but it's so sad because it's your wife who caused this. Your wife is the one that chose to embarrass you.
I don't think you know when you offend someone.
She mentioned my family on the other text, but y'all act like y'all didn't see the whole text.
Yeah.
Don't with my family, that's it. If you do, know what is coming and be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I with yours.
Keep my husband's name out your mouth.
Yep, I'm definitely with Toya. Keep my husband's name out of your mouth. But at the same time, Toya, don't give the people ammunition so that they can be speaking on your husband the way they have been speaking on your husband. So what I would need for you is also some accountability for what you have done and how you have created these monsters. Because so far with a lot of the men and the woman dynamic, a lot of the women, when they have arguments, they don't bring their husbands into it. They don't use their husbands to as topic of the conversation. They usually just fight it among themselves. But now it feels like every time anyone has to go against Toya, instead of focusing on Toya, the focus is always on Eugene, which is just terrible because Eugene definitely does not deserve that kind of behavior.
Doing negative to your husband, he might like it, I don't know. And all I was saying is it was from a gut play.
Yep, I'm definitely with Toya. Shut the F up. Because you did not have nothing to say when they called out the fact that your son was arrested. Okay. You did not want nobody to say nothing about what you got going on. And it's interesting because it's like you have been able to get away with not showing your real life, not being authentic, not being transparent in any way, whilst everyone is had to work as hard to show their family, to be transparent. You have not been.
You shut no, what you need to do is shut the
Oh, the one thing I really can't stand about the Married to Medicine cast is sometimes they shout so much, and I'm just like, this is just so hard. Like I can barely hear what the argument is about. Like, I would like to hear what each of them are saying, but they're just too loud.
Shady. You do this all the time. I am lying. And you're a damn fake ass bitch.
Okay, how is she a fake AB? Like, I just don't get it. That's yeah. I don't see anything that Toya has done that warrants that particular insult, but whatever.
Some foolishness. It's like there's an obsession with being rude to each other that has come over this group. And I'm tired.
Their husband.
It's funny. Jackie can get away with really not doing much on the show, but giving her little ad libs like, oh yeah, the people in this group don't do nothing. They're always arguing. And that is it. She literally may be all she says in the whole season or in the whole episode. And that's still, she got that check coming in. So I guess it's a good deal because she doesn't really have to do much. She doesn't have to really show up and engage with the cast, and yet she has the check. I wonder if she's the one that gets paid the most on the show. That would be interesting to know, whether she gets paid the most. Imagine you don't have to do too much and then you're getting paid so much on the show. I guess that's a good deal. I wouldn't say no to a deal like that. So I know that for free. No way would I be saying no to that sort of deal. So I guess it is what it is. Okay, guys, let's move on to Quad and King's IVF journey. So one thing I need from you guys is please hit that like button. For those who have just come in, please hit that like button. We have been talking about Married to Medicine. We have a few other sneak peeks to go through as well. And then we will be talking about Love and Married Huntsville, Marsau and Tisha. So we will be talking about them. We will also be talking about Mendecees as well. So we're going to get into all of that. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. All right. Let's get into it. Okay, so let me just get this new clip up. Okay. Give me a second, guys. Let me just get the clip up. I mistakenly closed it, but yeah, no, I have it up now. Okay, guys. All right. Let's watch.
What you doing? Just getting a few things out the closet, trying to start packing. I got the suitcase out. Are you packed already?
And that doesn't look like you're going for medical purposes. That looks like...
Did you hear this guy? She's packing. Then he says, that doesn't look like you're going for medical purposes. It looks like you're going for... Like, guy, are you okay? How many items did you even see her pack? Like, give the girl a break, for goodness sakes. Is she going to be there the whole time? She may be doing other things as well, right? Like, yeah, she is going for the IVF, but the girl got to eat. She's probably going to need to eat. She would need to do various things. So it's like, of course she has things to do. Besides, you're dating Miss Quad. So she's going to put a few looks together. She's going to gather, she's going to wear and dress decently. She's in Ghana, for goodness sakes. How do you want her to look?
Like you're going to party?
Not necessarily. Like, this a whole little comfortable, little two-piece situation.
So
I think I just don't like that. I feel like he's always picking on anything that she says or does. And I just don't like that. Like, I feel like I don't like the little side comments, not comments, calling her big back. I don't like the comments about her walls being wide. Like, what are we doing? These are very, very embarrassing comments. It's like you're doing what Toya is doing to Eugene, just on a more subtle level, really.
Go to the hospital in Gucci.
It's what I got.
Yeah.
King and I will be headed to Ghana for our third rounds of egg retrievals. Now, let me see what else I got, because I'm going to get a couple other things, too. A few days ago, all the ladies came and supported me, and I thank the ladies for sending me out.
This is the thing. So she's saying like a few of the ladies did a send off for her. Who would have loved to see the send off? I don't think they would be showing the send off. It's like that is part of the kind of things I feel like they should be showing on the show. I don't understand why they like to edit those kind of things out. They edit the things that don't seem like there is a lot of drama and then keep the dramatic stuff there. It's like, yo, you have all this drama, but you don't want to keep the good edifying stuff. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of drama, don't get me wrong. I'm like, it's drama at the end of the day. I understand drama needs to happen. That's part of what brings the people to the show. I get it. But at the same time, it's like beyond that, there should also be like, I don't know, there should be other things like people actually showing support, other edifying content that is not just drama focused. So I wish they would have shown that, to be honest.
Such a special way. Welcome to Ghana.
Okay, so it looks like they're showing like a flashback of it. Okay, I kind of like that. It looks like the girls at least all rallied around her. I think also interestingly, all the girls are like, a majority of the girls have kids, so I'm sure they understand the journey. Well, some of them may understand the difficulties, but even if they understand how they would have wanted children beforehand, right? So yeah, I'm not surprised that all the girlies kind of rallied around for her, but I'm glad to hear that.
There's quiet, good energy. Imagine her with her baby. Imagine you holding her baby.
To see them rally around me at such a point in time of my life.
Bless her, she was crying. Yeah, I can imagine it's such an emotional time. And I think that is why, like, when I see the way King acts, it really bothers me because I'm just like, I just think about how emotional it must be to be wanting to have a child and you have to go through this journey where it is not coming to you as easily as it came to a whole lot of people. You know, a lot of people can't exactly like they can't relate, to be honest, to you having to go through the journey that you've gone through. And so I just think like, yeah, I'm definitely happy that she at least had the support of the people, at least her friends.
It's really heartwarming
Because clearly she does not have the support of her man, in my opinion.
this is not easy.
So what happens if you don't get the results that you're looking for?
Did you hear how casually this man just said it? So what happens if you don't get the results that you're looking for? Sir, are you okay? Are you okay?
The stripper.
Really, I'm praying that this is our last.
What are you doing?
Just getting a few things out the closet, trying to start packing. I got the suitcase out. Are you packed already?
And that doesn't look like you're going for medical purposes. That looks like you're going to party.
Like, what happens if you don't get the results that you're looking for? It's like, it's not that we are looking for or the results that we are hoping for. This man said, what would happen if you don't get the results you are looking for? So that makes it clear that you're the one that is looking for that result, honey. That man ain't part of the people trying to look for that result. You're the only one in this situation that wants that outcome. That's the vibe that it is given. It's given he does not really want it. He's just going around to get around and get along. That is absolutely what is given. That man is not ready for no kids, in my opinion. I know he has one already, so fair enough. Maybe he doesn't really want another one, or he's a little bit indifferent. It's like, okay, if we have another one, that'll be good. But if we don't have another one, that's fine too. And so I feel like maybe to an extent, that is where he stands with everything. But to me, I just think it's so sad because it's like, imagine waiting this long to have a child and then you are basically practically at this point in Delulu land because this man does not really want a child. This man is moving like he has no empathy for you. He's moving like you're the only one that wants the child. You're the only one that is dealing with this by yourself. Is that who you truly want to be having a child with?
Not
Okay, so let me move.
Really, I'm praying that this is our last time.
So look at her face. She looks emotional about it. She looks like, I'm really praying that this is our last time. Look at his face.
We're gonna be hopeful, but gotta be
So he says we got to be hopeful, but
practical at the same time.
we have to be practical at the same time. It's like, practical about what, sir? Don't get me wrong. I'm not delusional to think that, okay, these bills pay for themselves. But at the same time, if it's a money thing, if you're like, okay, I don't even want us to try anymore after this time, we're going through a lot of different emotions, blah, 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 speak up. Speak up. Express how you feel about the situation. If you feel like trying to have another baby is not the right approach, that's fine. You are allowed to feel that way. It's not just Quad who is in this relationship, it is also you as well, King. So if you have reservations about it, speak up. What is not okay is to be throwing little jabs here and there that gives the impression that you are not really serious and you do not want this relationship as much as she wants the relationship. That's the bit that I find very, very concerning. It's just the way that he is handling this. He's not being sensitive at all in the way he's handling this. You can see she's even like, she seems emotional. Go next to her, baby, hug her, and just say, okay, I feel like we need to give your body a rest. We've done 3. If this, I pray that this works. I hope that this works. I'm hoping for our sakes that this works. But if this does not work, let's give ourselves a break before we try again or decide what to do next. You can have that conversation. You can. But what is not okay is to then, she is gearing up to go somewhere and then you're like, yeah, so what happens if this does not work out? I just don't think the way he said it is sensitive enough for what is really happening here. Look at her.
What am I not being practical about?
Exactly. Look, she looks defeated. She looks defeated. That's the face of somebody who looks defeated. She just looks like, what am I not being practical about? It's like, what is this? It just feels like, yes, another thing again. That is the vibe that she is giving me. Like, what else am I not being practical about? And I don't blame her because the lady is tired. You can see in her face, she is fed up. She is tired. She's probably been carrying the whole relationship on her back at this point. Because all he's been saying is, you this, you this, you that. He said, oh, if it doesn't work out, he'll just buy a new car. Does that give you the impression of somebody who really wants a baby with you? Absolutely not. And I think she knows that. I think that if she still hasn't left him, I think she is just in Delulu land because of what she ultimately wants to get at the end of the day, which is a child. Look at his face. He looks like he kind of has a bit of a smirk on his face.
You told me you didn't mind. You just said all we have to do is just make more money. You said you didn't mind.
So she looks blindsided like, yo, you said you didn't mind. And now it's obvious that you do mind. So which is it? Right? And so she's just there like confused.
So what's happening?
You see?
This has been like nonstop.
You see how she tilted her face away? It's given she tilted her face away because she was trying to fight tears. She was trying to fight the tears. She was like, let me not cry, honey. Let me gather myself. Let me gather it together. Let me look away. And then look at his face.
I mean, but we knew that this is what we was going to have to do.
No, we didn't know.
Whew. He said, no, we didn't know. Which is why I'm like, are you guys having these conversations or what? And I appreciate that this is happening in Ghana. It must not be an easy journey. All of that, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, he's saying we didn't know. What do you mean? Does that mean that he didn't think, like, Quad is a woman of a particular age, right? And so him saying, like, we didn't know, what do you mean we didn't know? I'm sure they would have told you what the odds were, or at least, told you something when you guys went to the doctors. I just don't understand the bit where he says we didn't know. Does that mean he just thought like, okay, maybe one cycle of IVF and that would have been it? I know people that are younger and have had so many cycles of IVF. So I don't really, I don't know. Maybe he was truly very unaware about how long these things may take. I don't know.
We thought it was going to be one and done.
He said we thought it was going to be one and done. Okay, so sounds like maybe he thought, or maybe they both thought it was just going to be one cycle of IVF and they would have children, or at least a child.
The IVF was definitely taking a toll on the relationship.
She looks so sad and defeated, and I feel so bad for her because I'm like, I know some people are saying, oh, they think it's a storyline, but I don't know. I don't think anybody in their right mind would be injecting themselves hormones just because of a TV show. I just don't believe that for a second. And so she looks deflated. You can tell that it is something that she wants. And she definitely feels like he is not being fully supportive. But I think at the same time, she also doesn't want to leave him because she probably doesn't want to be on her own as well. So I think there's so many layers to it, but it's very, very sad to see. And this is why I always think it's so important to be with someone who is empathetic because no matter what, they have some empathy for you. They can try to be like, okay, let me try and understand where she's coming from. Let me try to understand what is going on with this girl, as opposed to somebody who feels like no matter what, they are justified.
So it's like you get out of the honeymoon stage and then you go straight into this IVF process. It's like, it's been a significant impact.
Babe,
So he feels like it's been a significant impact. They went from honeymoon stage straight into the relationship. And this is something, yes, I will give to him that, yes, it can definitely be um, a huge shock to the system if you think like, oh, we're just dating, we're enjoying ourselves, and all of a sudden now we're trying for a baby. And the trying for the baby has not been going on. And I think part of it is because they're doing it the wrong way. King has not gotten to the point of commitment to her, right? Yet they're having a child or trying to have a child together. I think that's a big problem because they haven't gotten to that point yet. They haven't formed that stable, solid unit yet, right? It's not like, oh, I'm committed to you as a person. I love you. It's you I want to be with. And then after you guys have had that solid thing, and it's like, okay, let's get engaged. Let's do it. Okay, let's try for babies. It's like it just feels like everything was rushed and he did not even get into the stage of full commitment. And now you're trying for a baby.
I don't want to come across like I'm forcing you to do something. It's like nothing like having.
Even look at the gap between them on this seat. I just don't understand why they're so sitting so far away from each other. That is never a good sign.
A child who loves you
And she said she just wants a child who loves her unconditionally. And that is so sad. And I hate that for her. And I pray that, if truly she wants a child, that she gets the desires of her heart. But I don't think that King is the one for her. I personally don't think King is the one for her. And I think women need to think about it as the longer you stay with a man that ain't for you, the harder it is. And the longer it is going to take you to find the one who is for you. Because I understand, yes, you think he's attractive. Yes, you probably think like, oh, you're probably not going to be able to do any better. But girl, with the way this man is acting and treating you, I'm sure something else is better than this. I'm sure you can find someone who would have a lot more empathy for you than this man is doing right here, in my opinion. So I don't know.
conditionally and
It is, but do you let it overconsume you? Or is there a point where we're like, hey, this is practical, this is working, or it's taking too much away from our other lives outside of IVF?
You see, this is what I mean, where for him, it's not a priority. It is an added, right? He's like, oh, do you think that's taking away from our other lives? A man that truly wants a child will not be saying that. A man that truly wants a child with you would say, do you know what? he would even be the one saying, "Don't worry, babes, don't give up. I know this is really what you want. We just have to keep trying. We just have to not give up. We have to just keep trying. Or should we do adoption? Should we do this?" Right? That's a man that really wants to be with you. This man over here, I don't know what's going on there.
Really, I'm praying that this is our last time.
I mean, we're gonna be hopeful, but gotta be practical at the same time.
That's just bad vibes. I would be so upset. We have to be hopeful but be practical at the same time. Okay, so what is that practicality going to do for me now in this season, a couple of nights before I go to Ghana? What is that going to do for me? And I think sometimes we also need to be very careful when we're saying things to people, that we don't wound them, and like, because now she's going to go to Ghana not feeling her best, because now she's having to think about what if it doesn't work out, instead of wanting to be as positive as possible. Now, of course, I will also like have preferred if she was doing it in the US, but I also know it's very expensive in the US. But also I think that the US may be very modest about some things, which is maybe why she is doing it in Ghana. Maybe some of the hormones and stuff she's been injected, they'll probably maybe do a little bit more than they may do standard here because of other things that she may have going on. Who knows? Um, but I think if she was doing it in the US, maybe it would have been less pressure in terms of traveling as well. So I think that could also be um, something else as well that is adding to everything.
What am I not being practical about?
Okay, we've covered this one. But yeah, it's very sad to see, honestly. It's so sad to see. I hate this for her. I hate this for any woman who feels like they have to tolerate and stay in a situation where it's obvious that the man does not really see it for them like that, or does not want something as much as they do, right? So yeah, it's sad because I feel like she's the one carrying the burden of wanting the child. She's the one carrying the physical burden, but also like other things as well, emotional aspects. And then you also have to then do this by yourself because your partner is still not as present as you would want him to be. So that's what I think about Quad and her man King. Let's see what the comments are saying. She mocks sweet tea and now looky. Ugh, I'm not gonna say nothing about that. Unpopular opinion, King is Dr. Greg Jr. People just give him a pass because they find him attractive. Body language and the conversation in the confessionals tell me all I need to know. Someone else says, I try to only speak positively and to spin my emotions of these things into a positive reaction. So I'll say this: Quad looks great. She got it. She got it. I'm praying for her peace and discernment. Discernment is a very important word. Let me see if someone else calls that. No, the person missed what she was trying to say. King does not like Quad. It's becoming more obvious every episode. I definitely agree with that. I think every episode it gets worse. First is big back, then it's the walls of her vagina are too wide. It's like, oh, wide or whatever. I can't remember how he said it, but it was very, yeah, it was just all the way off. Didn't she get offended a few seasons when Dr. Simone told her not to wait too long because it would get to this point? Yes, but at the same time, you don't want to hear that. As a woman, if you're not ready or you're not in a relationship where you feel comfortable enough to have a baby, you don't want to hear someone tell you that you're going to run out of time. Of course, you don't want to hear that. So I'm sorry, but I have empathy for Quad on that. Like, you don't want to hear nobody tell you about your time is running out. And especially because it's like also you don't want to have a child for a random, right? So yes, you don't want to be a victim of circumstance or jump and have a kid because you feel like, oh, I need to have a kid ASAP because what else am I going to do? So yeah. Let's see what the people are saying. He's no longer interested in the process and tired of it. Yep, definitely comes across that way. Wow, so it was cool when she mocks T for the same fertility issues, right? I see a lot of red flags here, not being on the same page, starting a negative on the relationship, and that separate body language on the couch speaks volumes. Absolutely. Someone said King thought they would be pregnant free the old fashioned way. He wasn't expecting to have this financial burden with IVF. Yep, I think so too. So Kwa didn't want to have a baby with Dr. G, who she was married to and living with, but she is forced to have a baby with King, who she says she will not live, who says he will not live in her house and is not interested in having a baby. Yes, yes, yes. But at the same time, I can also understand why she didn't necessarily want to have a baby in her marriage with Dr. G, because that marriage was tumultuous. So where is the surprise? Where, okay, I don't want to go into that. Why not show the Ghana send off? It would have made more sense for her storyline and to show the support of the other ladies in her journey. Bravo always chop up the storyline for drama, but never show the good stuff that people actually want to see. Now, that is something I agree with. I think I already said that they should have at least brought that into it and showed us that. But I guess we got a flashback, but still not the same. This is why women need to go to therapy and work on themselves so she would know when to read a flag. Hallelujah. I already liked it, lol. The fact that you would continue on the journey with a man whose reaction was this is really a problem. But like most, she is going to ignore it and stay in Delulu land, then be talking about, oh my God, I don't know what happened. Girl, run. Having a baby is fine, but having a baby with someone who wants a baby with you is way better. Absolutely. And when someone wants a baby with you, you will not be confused. You will not be sitting with that face, looking like so worried, like you don't even know, you know. But she has to be in Delulu land because she probably wants to stay in that relationship. So yeah, it's all very sad, honestly. All right. Let me see. One second, guys. Okay, let's see. Okay. So I know I've wanted to talk about Yandy and Mendecees, but before that, let me just make sure I've covered all the Married to Medicine tea. Okay, I'm not really too fussed about this one, but we can talk about this one here. Let me just refresh it so it starts at the right point. So Candice is giving her 2 cents about Cecil and Dr. Simone basically paying for Michael's stuff.
And, you know, for much of my time on Potomac, I was ridiculed and maligned and made to feel like, you know, an outcast.
Girl, this ain't you, for goodness sakes. This is not your personal situation. And this is why I feel like I need, before you start commenting on certain things, at least watch more than that one preview. Try to watch at least one episode, because I don't understand how you're taking it as, oh, you know, this, when I was on Potomac, this is what happened to me. No, this is not what happened to you. Those are completely different scenarios.
For being this Black girl that came from money, from privilege. Meanwhile, most of the women on the show, my counterparts, my coworkers on the show, were schlepping, laying on their backs, and lying and carrying on the show to be able to provide a lifestyle for their children.
I'm guessing she's referring to Ashley, probably. I'm guessing she's referring to Ashley, but whatever the case may be, I feel like this is completely a different scenario, Candice. And I just think this is why I feel like before you can start giving commentary and stuff, at least watch the episode. If you want to give commentary on something that happened in an episode, at least watch the whole episode. Or at least a few minutes before and a few minutes after. Something. I just don't feel like, because I feel like this It's completely left field from what actually happened.
that they then turned around and ridiculed me for. So everybody be seated. Everybody have a seat. Who's coming? Oh, there's a pizza coming in the house. It's ghetto over here. Just I'm gonna keep going. We were hungry. It's the holidays. So shout out to Domino's. Sponsor us. Good night. So I say all that to say that yes, Michael is wilding. And his daddy should have reached across the table and smacked him upside his head.
Yep, I do agree with that. He was wilding. His daddy should have stepped in, but his daddy is a weak ass man. And so his daddy is not going to step in. Sad, but that's just the reality.
Because you don't disrespect your mother in front of me as the father. And he should have checked him.
Yep.
But the sentiment behind what Michael was saying, while it shouldn't have come out of his mouth, the sentiment I have to touch and agree with, because and especially at a time where we're living,
No, ma'am. I feel like you're seeing it from your own lens, and as opposed to a spoiled child who refuses to clean the house, who refuses to do basic things in the house, and then coming across as entitled, not caring about whether or not his mom is going to be able to have the ability to retire, and then telling her what she must do with her own money. Bizarre.
In a space where they're trying to take us back to where we don't have shit and where we can't provide for our families in excess if we want to, if we see fit. If Simone wants to give her son 3 Teslas, that's her business.
But the problem is she is about to lose her mind because she's out here providing for these men. Ma'am, that's the problem. She does not have the money that you or your family had or other people had. Her money is not that long, Candice. She clearly feels like she cannot afford it. She feels like he is spoiled. She feels like he's entitled. That's the problem. If she wanted to retire today, she doesn't feel like she can retire. That's the issue. So I don't like how it seems like the issue has been gotten away from.
And that's where I sit with it. Unpopular as it might be. And
it's definitely unpopular. And let's see what I liked over here. Shout out to Kempire. Kempire says, I don't think the issue is if Dr. Simone can spoil her sons. The issue was that Dr. Simone was having a breakdown on national television about none of these men think about her and what she needs or wants. Yep, which is why I liked it, because I actually stand on that. I feel like none of them give a dang about what Simone wants or can afford. They don't care. They're just like, yeah, whatever. We are privileged. Like, no, you do not know what is in my bank account. You do not know if I can truly afford this. You are assuming that I can afford it. What if I can't? And so I just think like they're definitely missing some steps. And so, yes, Candice, whatever it is that is going on in your situation is not the same over here. I don't know how else to break it to you, but it's not the same situation over here. Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about my remote, the battery for my mouse is acting up. This is the thing. I really should have bought new batteries all the while, but I am going to buy new batteries. I have to at this point. Oh, I feel like the batteries are done. I hope it will just give me one good night. Give me one session tonight so that I can actually use the mouse. That would be so helpful, but I don't think I'll be able to use the mouse anymore. Anyway, let me show you guys what I wanted to show you guys. It would be a bit chaotic now that I can't use my mouse, but I will do my best. So let me share this tab so you guys can see it. So for the Christmas, whatever you want to call it, Christmas picture or whatever, you know how everyone is doing matching pajamas. The Scots decided they weren't going to do that. They were just going to dress up and stand in front of the Scott's manor to take this picture. Okay. So they're over here in their uncompleted Scott's manor taking pictures. So look at the kids. Look at everybody. The kid in the red is literally trying not to like fall down because it's really not completed. Yeah, it's definitely not looking anywhere near done. So they go there and then they decide to pose there. And I'm just like, okay, of all the things that you guys could have done, this was the best you could come up with. Like, okay. So then Tisha says, Merry Christmas, celebrating family and the progress of Scott Manor, building our dream home while showing that building your future takes patience, faith, and grace. Dream big and enjoy the journey. Love on your family and kids. They grow up so fast. Now, that is very true. They do grow up so fast. Now, somebody said, how long does it take to build a house? So someone says, so some custom houses can take years. Let's see what other people are saying. Marsau said, we've been building since 2018 before the first episode. Somehow TV and social media has people thinking that it's easier than it seems. Just some ish you can go by. I'm just here to show you our process. I'm sure people do it better and faster. We didn't. I will say this though, everyone who knows understands. Okay. So what is clear is Marsau it be in these comments. Marsau is not letting the people drag him in peace. He is responding, honey. He is on task. Okay. For those who have just come in, please hit that like button. We're talking about Tisha and Marsau's recent Christmas picture and how it's having the social media people in flames. And Marsau is responding. Marsau is not letting it go. Marsau is like, I'm gonna respond to all of these comments. I'm not about to let you get a one up on me. Okay. So Marsau is responding. So we're just going through some of the comments. So guys, please hit that like button as we go through it. Please and thank you. So Marsau says, especially when it's a 40 tall, 16,000 square foot structure carved into the side of a limestone mountain on 10 acres up a 240 elevation with a 1,000 if IF driveway that's 26 wide with, wow, not him giving us all of that. 71 tons of steel, and we're developing and building it ourselves while living our life. We're building our dreams, building our family, and we're building the kind of children that see the process, love the passion, and will approach life with a sense of unfuckability because they watched their parents build their dreams with faith and hard effing work. So Marsau is out here crashing out with the people in the comments, honey. He then responds to somebody says, I never presented myself as an expert. I presented myself as a man who believes in himself and will figure it out for my wife and kids. I presented myself as a man who makes mistakes and keeps pressing forward. I present myself as a man who just passed the test on the pilot first episode, a man whose wife got him his first project on the show. I presented myself as exactly who I am. Black was started on the show. The first trees were torn down on the show. You want to see an expert? I will be one day. But what you see and will always see is a person who may not be an expert, but is willing to bet on himself. A man that will fail forward, someone who is unapologetically flawed, but pressed towards the mark. You don't need to see the imperfections. Just show me the episode when I said I did this before. This is the first house that I built. It's mine. I'm proud as F about it. My challenge to you is repeat what I said about yourself. Okay? That was a very long one from Marsau, but it's obvious Marsau is not with the ish. Okay? Someone says, since I love you, I'm going to try and defend this by saying it's a play on the family business and not so much the house itself. Marsau said, thank you, ma'am. Why would my dreams need to be? This is the thing. She is on your side. Like, what is all of this energy? Why would my dreams need to be defended from people who don't understand? If you don't believe your eyes, why would you believe your ears? We don't need a defense. No one who has said anything has paid a dime, moved a rock, or will eat a mussel. It's just their opinion based on life experiences and perspective. It's exactly what the caption is. We're documenting the process of building our dream and enjoy the complete process and loving every effing nail and timber. Okay. So it's definitely given that Marsau is all up in those comments, tussling. He ain't playing with the people. He's like, nah, we gonna be tussling over here until you guys put some respect on me. Okay. That is what it's definitely given. Someone said, now, why would y'all do this? Master said, I think because they're able. Okay. And then he said, I was excited for you guys. Like, yes, we finished the house. Merry Christmas. Master said, it's okay. You can be excited for the process as well as the result. Cheer during the game, not just during the score. Okay. This is cute, but where are their hard hats? He's like, hard hats are to prevent from falling object. They are not costumes. Okay. Marsau is eating the girls up in these comments, honey. He is eating them up. The construction zone shoot is taking me out, but the pictures turned out fire. Okay, so he said thanks on this one. Okay. He said, Merry Christmas, but why you all look like you really did not want to take these pictures? Marsau said, did we? This person responded. This person wants to tussle. Marsau has not responded yet. The person said, yes, only the kids are smiling. Okay. That's just so funny. But yeah, it's just funny that Marsau is out here in the comments, like responding to the people. Like, it's like he is fully responding to the people that are responding to comments. It's like he is all up in the comments. Clearly, maybe Black ain't busy enough, because where is he finding all that time? So someone says, wait, is this the same dream house? It's been a few years, right? He says, correct. At least he didn't go in on this. These pictures are tacky, more like Halloween photos. So Marsau says, happy Halloween. And then someone says, whose idea was this? Let's see if Marsau says. Marsau said ours. So Marsau is like, this is ours. No, but okay. It says, I guess. I know exactly where this house is. I noticed it about a month ago, since the leaves have now falling off the trees. Beautiful home with the magnificent view. Marsau said, yeah, I saw that too. You all didn't need the apostrophe unless you are showing ownership to the house. Thanks. Perhaps next time you put a picture on your profile so I know who helped us with the needed grammar. Marsau. And then this person laughed. Oh my god. Marsau is such a firecracker at this point. Marsau is definitely eating up the comments. I bet the people miss Marsau on the show, like Melody on the show, because Marsau and Melody, the synergy on the screen, chef's kiss. Absolute chef's kiss. But it's so obvious, like Marsau is just out here. Said, I love you all, but why would you all take pictures at your unfinished house? Merry Christmas, nice pictures. Then let me see. I don't think Marsau responded to this one. Tisha said, same spot every year with great grandkids. Okay. So the people are with the ish. I guess Marsau has not gotten around to responding to that comment. But yeah, it's definitely obvious that, like, Marsau has enough time on his hands. He's ready to tussle with you in the comments. So if y'all want to go over there and tussle with Marsau, just know Marsau will be responding, most likely, to any of y'all's comments where you all are tussling. Just putting that out there, so you know, if you put any comments on Marsau's page and Marsau decides that he's with the ish, and then you guys are tussling there, just let us know so we can screenshot and talk about it over here on this channel. But anyways, that just, that was hilarious to me. I think the pictures, but also the people in the comments, and Marsau deciding to really be in the comments, like just going and responding to the people. Marsau was like, I'm standing on business. Okay, guys, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about Miss Yandy. But before we do that, thanks everyone for joining. We've just finished talking about Tisha and Marsau. Please hit that like button, everybody, as you guys come in. Please hit that like button, everybody. We just talked about Marsau and Tisha, so feel free to rewind it back if that's what you came here for the newbies who have just joined in. Okay, so please hit that like button, everybody. We're going to move on to talk about Yandy and Mendecees. Okay, so I want to play this clip for you guys because I want you guys to hear it from the horse's mouth, okay? And then I will give you guys my 2 cents on this. Give me a second. I have a few tabs open, and now that I don't have my mouse, whose fault is it? Mine. I have no one to blame but myself, but I will get new batteries for my mouse soon enough.
About you in the streets, because it was like, dang, if she held him down.
So even if me and Yandy decide to break up, it's no one's business but our household. Right? So if you see me acting inappropriate, it's appropriate for me.
Bruh. Man said, if you see me acting inappropriate, it's appropriate for me. Okay. He said that loud and clearly.
It's maybe not for you, because I'm sorry you wasn't in the group chat when we decided that you know what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry you wasn't in our bedroom when we had this conversation, and and that's the problem, because a lot of times these rumors, we so private that we sit back and we laugh at it. And
so what it sounds like, he's saying that he and Yandy are not together, and that when all these different rumors come about or whatever, they laugh about it. I guess my question is, what was the timeline of them being on screen on Love and Hip Hop and giving the impression that they were still together, but going through it? Like, that's a little confusing for me.
It doesn't affect us like the way it affects the public. People be like, oh, y'all should be more transparent. Let us.
I get it. I get them feeling like maybe they're not ready to share with the society or the people at large. I get that. But at the same time, I do wonder, when did they truly separate? What year was that? Right? Now, this is just, I just say this because, was this before the whole alleged voice notes and recordings they had of Mendecees over there at Tasha K, if I'm not mistaken? And was this before the alleged cheating that happened with Yandy over there in London and then Paris? So, like, which is it? Like, these are the questions I have.
No. Yeah, we gotta figure out how to let our children know.
Right, exactly.
Right? What's the status of you and Yandy right now?
Are we not together?
Y'all not together. So y'all getting a divorce?
Well, we never was like legally married, so.
Oof. And there you have it. They never were legally married. Now, I noticed that a lot of people were saying, like, a lot of people seemed very shocked about that, but I'm quite surprised that people were shocked about it, because from day one, they've always said they did not sign the papers. And can you blame the lady for not signing the papers? Do you know what the implications could have been if she signed the papers? She definitely did not want a situation where she was having to be financially responsible for any situations that he gets into. She does not want to be responsible for that, and I don't blame her. If you have worked so hard all these years, and then you decide to end up marrying someone who has a case and who could be a liability, of course you're not going to sign the papers. I don't know anyone who I know who would sign the papers under similar circumstances.
Oh, I don't know what a divorce.
Like, so the rumors are true that y'all was never Y'all just did it for TV.
Listen, nah.
I don't think anybody was saying they did it for TV as such. I think people were more shocked as to, like, are they truly divorced? Were they ever married? Are they truly, were they truly married? Did they have to get a divorce? I don't necessarily think, because 20 years is too long to be doing it for TV. Let's be clear. And we've seen it on the show that their marriage has been on the rocks for a while now. So I don't think anybody is shocked to hear that they are not together. I don't think we were shocked, because we've seen quite a lot of things that have happened on the show that gives the impression it is not a complete shock that nothing, that they are not together. But I guess my question would be, so why was it made to seem like they were cheating when she had what she calls an emotional affair? And he was talking to some girl in the club where Yandy was also there. So I feel like I just don't understand it.
I didn't do it for TV. I think, listen, it was Yandy's idea, right? Because in the beginning we had, I was going through legal battles with.
I feel like that man did not even cover you. He could have said, "Oh, we made a decision." He said it was Yandy's idea. Like, bro, you can't even cover your so-called, at least, even though you weren't married legally, you were married. At least you guys did some sort of ceremony. I think in the eyes of, at least, maybe potentially had a minister there. So you guys did some sort of spiritual ceremony, if I'm not mistaken. So where does that fall?
Courts and fines, and she said, let's not sign the papers. And I was like, all right, cool. And then I guess it kind of just stayed that way. Then we got married again, and then we still ain't.
Yeah, because I was at.
So what it sounds like is, yes, she is trying to protect her assets, and I don't blame her, because if you work so hard for your assets and there is a chance that they can come after her directly for child support payments, they can come at her directly for restitution payments, that lady did not want that smoke. And so I think she made the right decision not making it official in terms of paperwork. But I don't think that should take away from the life that you guys built, especially when you guys did a spiritual ceremony, at least. At the very least, you guys did some sort of spiritual ceremony. So I actually hate the fact that he opened his mouth to be like, oh, it was Yandy's idea. Well, you guys made the decision together, right? So he couldn't even cover her on that point. And she should have known that he wasn't the one. When she waited for him whilst he was in jail, she rode for that man whilst that man was in jail, was handling business, taking care of all these side chicks slash baby mamas or whatever, putting them in their so-called place in quotation marks. She was over there doing so much, taking care of his children. And he said that he doesn't know or think that if Yandy was in the situation where she went to jail, he doesn't know that he would have been able to hold her down. Do you know what a slap in the face it is for you to hold your man down and for your man to have the audacity to open his mouth wide and say that he doesn't think he would have been able to hold you down? What kind of crazy nonsense is that? And so if you think about that on that level, that is mental gymnastics. It's like you rode for a man, you were with this man for 20 years, you were out here defending this man against the baby mamas and fighting the baby mamas for this man. And whilst he was in jail, you held him down. You now came back out of jail, and this man is out here telling you that, oh, well, if you were in jail, he wouldn't have been out here riding for you. I don't know what you need to hear, but let this be the lesson. Don't be out here holding down a man who can't do the same for you. Look at it now. He couldn't even cover you, but I bet Yandy is happy. I don't know what Mendecees' money looks like, but I don't think the money is looking as good as Yandy's money is looking. So at least there is no paperwork. There's no fighting over assets. There is no alimony, which I think is the best thing that she did for herself. Say what you want, but it sounds like Yandy was about her money. She was like, yep, I am not out here having to pay my money off to some other people. So I definitely stand by what she, it's not my business, it's not my place, but I would say, like, I think she did the right thing, because look at it now. Imagine she was married and then now they're fighting like Candy and Todd, about whether or not prenup is going to stand, all that kind of stuff. I bet she's happy that, I know on an emotional level, this man is out here basically saying you ain't never been his wife. I know on an emotional level that can hurt because you spent 20 years with this man. But at the same time, at least you left that man without having to worry about filing for divorce, arguing about money. You didn't have to do all of that. So I think in the end, I feel like Yandy won. But you guys let me know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Yandy saved herself by not actually, filing any paperwork for their marriage? Or what do you guys think? Do you guys think she should have filed the paperwork? Do you guys think that she was wrong for not filing the paperwork? Or do you guys think that what she did was the best decision that she ever made for herself? Let me know what you guys think. The interesting thing that he also said was, he said that they had been separated for a year. And so my thing is, like, when Funky Geneva was saying that, what's it called? Mendecees and Tamar Braxton were over there kissing on each other, and she's staying with that lady's husband. I guess this man has come out to tell you that he ain't that lady's husband. He was never that lady's husband. He has literally come out there and just made that very, very clear. And here is what Tamar Braxton is saying to the BS. Tamar says, I'm accepting all apologies through my Cash App, the F. Please pay by following. If you called me a liar, $10. Homewrecker, $20. Ho, $20. Slot, $30. Accept the fact that you all fell for the BS and run me the F up. And then that's her Cash App. Okay. So she is basically saying she was not out here effing a married man. He was not married. He has been separated. I guess this also begs the question as to whether or not the reason this man came out here to talk about actually being married is because, or not being married, is because he's trying to defend Tamar's honor. What do you guys think? Could it be that he's really trying to defend Tamar's honor and he feels like the people are coming at Tamar wrongly and he's trying to clear it up? So that's why he's letting us know that he has not been married and they have been separated for a whole year. Now, I don't know if I believe that they have been separated for a whole year, because it's either they have been separated and they were lying to us on the show, or they have been separated or Mendecees is lying about the date of separation. So I wish that Yandy will come out and clear it up for us, but I don't think Yandy would. We know how Yandy is. Yandy don't be clearing up ish. Yandy is not going to be out here telling us nothing about whether or not, Yandy's not going to say nothing. I don't expect Yandy to say a thing. But it sounds like Tamar is basically confirming that there was something going on between her and Mendecees, but Mendecees ain't a married man. Mendecees is not with Yandy. So I guess that's interesting. That is very, very interesting. Let's see what the people are saying. Someone says, Tamar, I hate to break it to you, but you are making the people's point. Okay. Another person says, what are we accepting? Him not being married? We knew, sis. No one is apologizing to you. Actually, Cash App me. That is so funny. Guys, for those who have just come in, we don't have enough likes, so please hit that like button. It seems like there's still more than half of the people in this live that have not hit that like button. Please hit that like button, everybody. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Okay, so we're reading the comments. Someone says, what are we accepting? Him not being married? We knew, sis. No one is apologizing to you. Actually, cash up me. Cash up me too, honey. Because yes, everybody knew they were not in an official marriage, to be honest. Someone says, so she does mess with him. Yep, that's what is given. Someone says, I can see her and Clarissa being best friends. Cornballs. Oh, that is so funny. Absolutely. Now that you say that, I can definitely see her and Clarissa being friends. They would be kikiing and laughing, and yes, I can definitely see them being friends. So she's confirming that she messes with him. That's what is given. Then she says Funky was right the whole time. Yes, that's what it's given, guys. It definitely is given that, well, Funky was right about her messing with Mendecees, but I guess her argument is Mendecees is a single man and has been single for a while now. So in that case, then it wouldn't be her necessarily doing anything wrong because she's a single woman dating a single man. I think that is her point. But the people are not going to let her rest, honey. The people are like, nope, that's not enough. The people are not. That is so funny to me. So basically, she was kissing and doing all the things. By the way, I help people. This person's plugging her business in. Okay. So she's confirming the story of them messing around now that the coast is clear. That's what it sounds like. Someone said she protected her money and he agreed. They got kids. Not now. Not she. Okay, I don't know what this person is saying. But it's when two grown people decide to protect their assets because they have children and businesses. Tama, you are missing the mark. Your move, I got it. So now this person trying to throw a brick on her. I sent a request for 2K, boo. So sorry. Now show me how much you forgive me. Oh, that's funny. In other words, I messed with him, but I didn't interfere with no relationship because it was over. The industry, just like my Facebook friend messing. Okay. Cash App doesn't even work. It's a caution person pulling up. I was definitely trying to request 1,000. Not the people trying to request money from Tamer Braxton. That is so funny. It's like she's telling y'all to pay her up, and you guys are trying to request money from her. Is too funny to me. So she did hook up with him. That was the truth. Okay? That's what it is given. Garatema, the point was, why are you messing with him, period? So closely after Yandy to the point you would be a rebound. Ooh. Okay. That is very interesting context. I don't think she definitely sees herself as a rebound. Plus, I don't know how long she's allegedly been messing around with him. I don't know if it's really been that long. Yeah, I'm not sure. Someone said, Tamar, please, they were just in Ghana together, lovey-dovey, this year, hooting and hollering on YouTube that they are fighting for their marriage. Again, this year, if you want to be a side chick who can now be public, just say that. Oh my gosh, this person read her down, honey. This is a very good point. I did not even know this was happening. If anybody knows whether this was happening in the YouTube streets and they were out here claiming each other and acting like everything was good in the hood and they're not, and they're fully in a relationship, y'all, please tag me in some of those videos, because what the hell? What the helly? Someone said you just confirmed everything Q said. Sounds smart to me, Yandy. You weren't about to get her you weren't about to get her funds, I might add. I definitely agree. I think it was smart for her to act that way because at the end of the day, that's the only way she can make sure you do not have access to her funds. That's funny. The people are like, so she's admitting she was messing with him. That is what is so funny to me. Is like, not you saying this and then indirectly admitting that you were messing with him, and everyone is now focused on you admitting that you were messing with him. That is so funny to me. I'm about to DM Yandy because we should have been together. Okay. We knew they weren't legally married, but still in a committed relationship. He was still some other person's man. Now, well, according to him, he was a single man. That's what it's given. But you said you weren't messing with him. So what did the people fall for? Are you now saying that you were messing with him? Because I'm confused. This is the thing, man. I guess people can't keep track of their lies or arguments anymore. Maybe the reason she said she wasn't messing with him was more she wasn't messing with a married man, as opposed to basically saying that she wasn't messing with him. But whatever the case may be, I'm just like, Tamar should have sat that one out. I don't think she should have said anything. And that's the thing. Sometimes in the bid to want to jump in and, be like, I told you so, you end up now telling on yourself. Now, the movement has now moved from, okay, you messing with that lady's husband to be like, wow, you really were messing with Mendecees. And now everybody's really trying to figure out the timeline. Were you messing with him whilst he was, okay, fine, he wasn't married, in a relationship with Yandy? Or was this before, was this after her, So these are some of the questions that people would like to know. But yeah, like, I don't know how this is going to end, but you'll have heard Tamar Braxton. She is accepting some cash apps, so feel free to hit her with a cash app. Although there are people in the comments saying the cash app ain't working. I don't see nobody that is going to be able to give her, that would out here be sending her money for cash app, or sending her a cash app for that. But anyway, also I wanted to do a shout out to a new member who joined yesterday. Deborah, thank you. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the community. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for joining our membership. Everyone, thank you so much for listening tonight. I think, let me just double check that I've talked about everything I want to talk about. I think once I talk about everything that I was going to talk about, then we will call it a night. And I must get me some new batteries. Oh, I have not gotten myself these batteries, and it's been a while since the thing has been showing me that it needs new batteries, but I did not listen. It's definitely a bad girl. Did not listen. I guess there's one positive news that I can share with you guys. It's over there on the Twitter. But basically, basically, I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, you guys can see it. Basically, Shamia just received a red Bentley for Christmas from Gerald. It's just like, okay, so every year she gets a car. Like, I'm not hating or anything. The car is beautiful. I love Bentleys. But it's like every year you get a car. It's like, any other gifts? Maybe. But shout out to her. Happy for her and her Bentley. I hope she definitely enjoys that. But yeah, on that note, everybody, thank you for listening. I do have a video going. Actually, I have a few videos that would be going live soon. So please turn on your notification. And everybody, thank you so much for listening. Hello to the replay gang. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button, and turn on your notifications so you know every single time that I post or go live. And yeah, guys, please, I have like 3 videos, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3 videos coming out starting from now at 10 p.m. my time. So now, and then there is another video again coming out in a few hours. So make sure you turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the videos. On that note, everybody, thank you so much for hanging with me tonight, and I will speak to you in the chat. Thank you, everybody. Good night.